Welcome to Sports Focus. We only deal with winners here. And this is Super Bowl 52. Countdown is here.
Oh, boy.
Woo! We don't have to deal with them losing Cowboys. I'm a Cowboy fan. I love them. But dang it, I keeps it real. Right now, they pretty much suck. And these two teams that's in the Super Bowl have deserved it. They have played very well, and we're gonna give it to them. I give it all their efforts. They worked hard. Remember, it started off rough for the Patriots. And pretty much Philadelphia's smooth sailing all season.
Yeah.
Sort of like that team from 2016, the Dallas Cowboys, but it didn't work out for them because they don't have the right organization and the coaching.
Adjustments.
And they did not make adjustments properly. But let's move on about this big game, the Super Bowl, which we are finally here, the last game of the NFL season. And just a little tidbits. For a commercial, $5 million for a 30-second spot. So when you watch your Bud Lights and all the Bud White, all those commercials, $5 million for a commercial. Unbelievable. NBC is killing it. And let's talk about the tickets.
Woo!
Yes.
Lord,
Price for the tickets. Now, let's go back. And the price for Super Bowl I, guess how much that was?
Probably $20 a pop.
$10.
$10?
$10.
Wow.
Now, mind you, it stayed in that $10, $15, $20, $30 range throughout the 70s, a little bit into the 80s. It started creeping up into the 80s. It had to go to Super Bowl 22 for it to finally be $100. That's your average price. You're going to this year, Super Bowl 52. People, you could buy about what, 2 cars for 1 ticket. The cheapest ticket is like $3,000.
Unbelievable.
The average ticket is $5,000.
That's just unbelievable.
And your most expensive ticket is over $175,000.
Yeah, that's when you want to be on the front row.
That's when you want to be down. That's for them corporate people that have a lot of money.
That's absolutely crazy.
Amazing.
Crazy.
What society do we live in paying all this money to sit for like 3, 4, 5 hours and watch a game? It's amazing. You gotta love America. Now let's move on to some things that's going on in this game that's at stake here. For New England now. New England, they could tie
Pittsburgh
for the most Super Bowls. Yeah, let's just say for if they happen to win this game, are they the greatest team or Super Bowl team, even though they're tied with the Steelers?
I think they will be. Because there's shorter time span at their dominance. They would be one of the best ever. Like Green Bay was during those decades. The Cowboys were during the 70s, the 49ers, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
They will have it because they have the longer span.
It's amazing because the Steelers of the 70s won their Super Bowls 4 out of 6 years, and they shut it down. New England, on the other hand, is real special because their last Super Bowl was 2004, and now they took 10 years off, and they beat Seattle. They took a year off, came back and beat the Falcons, and now they're on the verge of doing it again.
They'll be the only team to do the 3 and 4 years twice.
That's right, and that's my next one. The Cowboys was the first to do 3 out of 4, and Patriots already did it. Patriots already did it.
They did it right after the Cowboys
did. Yeah, they did it 3 out of 4, and they're on the verge of doing it again.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
I don't know. You might have to give it to them.
Yeah.
You might have to give it to them. I don't think they're a dominant team, but they find a way to win. I can't believe they have a shot to do it. Let's do a little trivia now.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, a little trivia. Super Bowl. Now, this is a question I ask every year. I'm going to see if you can get it, and you too. Who has the most career fumbles in a Super Bowl?
I don't remember that one. The most career fumbles?
Fumbles.
Who's that, Thurman?
Roger T.
Dodger.
Staubach with 5.
Wow.
You wouldn't think a great player. Most of those happened against those guys, though, the Steelers. Right. They couldn't beat them.
Until Emmett came to town.
That's right. Which team in the Super Bowl era has the most MVPs?
Which team?
Yes.
In the Super Bowl era.
In the Super Bowl era has the most MVPs.
You would think it would be the Patriots because they've been 8 times. I think it's 8. Or was it 9?
Wrong! It's the Dallas Cowboys. Because remember, one year we had 2.
That's right.
And we had a
defensive player
from a losing team.
Get the MVP.
It was the Cowboys, which was
That's
the
right.
last time we're ever going to see that in today's society. You know, the losing team gets the MVP, which I'm going to say it right now. LeBron should have got MVP that year against Golden State because he dominated that year. But people want to say, oh, you lost. Let's move on. Yeah, that was the Cowboys.
That makes up for when Kyrie should have gotten it.
Man, please. He led the whole series in
that's that same
points,
year that Kyrie
assists,
should have got it because Kyrie did. This is a Super Bowl show. We'll do that some other time.
You damn right. Which player has been in the most Super Bowls?
The most Super Bowls?
Yes. Ding, ding,
that would be Tom, wouldn't it?
Yes, Tom Brady, Nathan Brady, that troublemaker, in the most Super Bowls, and you never know. Next year he might get another one.
This is his 8th, isn't it?
It's incredible. Yeah. I don't know if one player with one team is going to be in that many Super Bowls. It's going to have to be a very special situation for a player to get to that many Super Bowls. That's sick. And just to throw in, Belichick, this is his 11th Super Bowl.
Yeah.
11th Super Bowl.
I tell a lot of people, I put him up there with Landry and Lombardi as greatest coaches ever because you have to.
Even though he has some cheating allegations.
Yeah.
But, you know, we don't know what those coaches do.
Here's a tidbit. Of all the coaches who left his coaching tree, that this is a testament to the man and his system. They all have losing records. The only one that's hanging on to a winning record is the head coach of the Texans.
Oh.
Any coach that leaves Belichick's tree that goes to be a head coach, Josh McDaniels had a losing record in Denver before he came back. They all have losing records once they leave Belichick. So that's why I say the system.
Well, speaking of McDaniels, he has an opportunity once this game is over to get a job with the Colts.
Yeah, should be interesting.
And if Andrew Luck is healthy, he got a quarterback. They're going to, get some pieces. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yep.
Now, when you talk about this Super Bowl 52, you got the quarterbacks. Of course, what else can you say about Tom Brady, Nathan Brady? But then you got this guy, Nick Foles.
Been around the world and almost retired.
Yes. And he's definitely, the underdog in this situation. You got a 5-time Super Bowl champion, a 4-time MVP.
Right.
And you got Nick Foles, his only claim to fame is throwing 7 touchdowns in a game, which tied the NFL record. So
right.
I guess you could say you can give the edge to Brady.
Only thing that is going to help Nick is that defense.
Yep, which we will get to.
That defense is...
Fletcher Cox.
Whew.
Tom Brady mentioned his name right up front. So, obviously, I know the Patriots, they're going into this game, it's like, we got to watch 91. We got to watch 91 because the key thing for the Patriots and the key for them winning is not getting touched by that defense right there. Because that defense, in my opinion, has been the best in the NFL, which pretty much it seemed like it's undercover because they want to say Minnesota. They want to say this team. They weren't
the number one overrated.
No.
But the weird thing is, when you look at it, overall defense, it was them, Jacksonville, New England.
Yes.
And that's the weird thing because you don't know New England as a juggernaut on defense.
Yeah.
But they're up in the top 5 in the overall defense, so it should be good.
Remember when that season in the beginning, they gave it up to Kansas City. They gave it up to all these teams. But as the season went on, they got their defense together. This team, I think Philadelphia is.
But I hope they don't go in like that Carolina Panther defense that was full of themselves and got slapped.
Lead the hype. We're going to see. Of course, the Eagles, they've been. Yeah, it is. Almost. Let's try that one. Oh, gosh. But, they've been the underdogs. They've been the underdogs this whole playoff.
Yes, they have.
For a number 1 seed at home to be the underdog, I have to go with that.
Yeah, the biggest thing was the only reason why they were underdog was because who was under center, because no
Nick
one
Foles.
thought that he would come around.
Yeah.
And it took him until that game to come around, but he's there.
Isn't it? It's interesting you say that because that's what they thought about our Cowboys in 16. Oh, we didn't expect all this. And now you look at the Eagles and their quarterback situation, and you're like, whoa, we didn't expect all this.
Yeah.
Do you think now, going into this particular game, do you think that this is the last go-round for Tom and Bill?
If they lose, no.
If they lose.
If they win, I think one of them will. I think Bill will set off into the sunset.
You think so?
I think Bill will set off in the sunset.
Yeah.
I think Bill getting to that point where he's saying, I'm getting too old for this crap.
Think so. So you think because they, like you said, they got the system in place, winning. Why wouldn't you come back and win again?
Why?
Like what we always, like you always say, they got their AFC on lock.
Yes,
AFC
they do.
East. So that's an easy
5 to 6 wins, and you just have to find the other 6 somewhere else.
Beat the other teams.
That's it.
But and from their point of view, why stop?
Yeah, that's true. Why stop? But then again, I don't have nothing else to prove.
Yep.
You have Super Bowl rings that can cover almost all of your fingers.
Yeah.
What else do you have to prove? Besides batteries?
Listen, Duracell or Energizer? Who you got in this game?
Energizer. You know what? This was a tough one to call because
On sale at Walgreens.
or pick them up the next time you're at Dollar General. The biggest thing about this is it's tough to call because even if the Eagles jump on them early, slight changes in Belichick's scheme of things, twice. Yeah. Belichick's scheme of things can change the tide in the game. We've seen that countless times. 2 very lucky catches got the Giants over them.
Yep.
I ain't gonna say lucky. 2 very special catches got the Giants those 2 Super Bowl rings over the Patriots. But this guy makes second half adjustments like nobody's business. So that's what I'll be looking for.
Isn't that amazing that he couldn't do that against the Giants?
But you got to remember, he had the adjustments. His defense couldn't stop him.
But they couldn't do it against the Giants. They
That
couldn't stop him. They couldn't score.
But the biggest thing is that Giant defense weighed heavy on them for most of the game.
Yeah, that's going to be the key to the Eagles.
Yeah.
If they can keep that pressure on time and come up the middle.
Yeah.
That's very important. You watching this game, come up the middle on time because that's exactly what the Giants did in those 2 games.
That's right.
They
contained them.
Up the middle, not this outside stuff. Only thing Tom going to do is step up. You got to hit him up the middle.
Right.
And who you got? Victory.
I can't call it. I'm honest. I can't call it.
I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I can't call it. This
We'll
was
see.
a tough one.
We'll
this is a
see.
tough one.
And folks, that's all the time we have for you. Thank you